And now the opposition has slammed the central government after SBI requests the Supreme Court to extend the deadline till June 30th. The Congress has said that people before the general elections must know who got what from whom and whether there was any prima facie quid pro quo involved. So this is the reaction that is coming in from the opposition, which claims that all the information regarding the electoral bond scheme must be revealed before the Lok Sabha elections. Remember, the SBI has requested the Supreme Court to extend the deadline till June 30th, which was March 6th. But the opposition has now launched attacks against the government and has said that all the information should be revealed before the general elections, and the people should know that from whom and whether from whom the money is coming from. And the opposition has now launched multiple attacks against the government, saying that the deadline should not be extended, which was given to the SBI by the Apex Court, and that they should present all the data which was asked by the Supreme Court regarding the electoral bond scheme. Remember, the SBI has requested the Supreme Court to extend the deadline to June 30th, which was given on which was earlier March 6th. And remember, last month the Supreme Court in a historic judgment had struck down the electoral bond scheme and told SBI to give the information to the EC on March 6th. But now the SBI has requested for an extension in the deadline, and they have requested that the deadline should be extended till June 30th. And now we have attacks coming in from the opposition parties as well, with the Congress attacking the government, saying that people before the general elections must know who got what from whom. This is the attack that is coming in from the Congress party against the government over the extension that has been sought by SBI to give the data about the electoral bond scheme to the EC. So now the Congress says that before the general elections, the info should be out. Our senior editor Pallavi Ghosh is now joining us on this story. Pallavi, the SBI has requested for an extension in the deadline. What is the reason that has been cited by the bank?
Well, what the SBI said yesterday, and the request is before the Supreme Court, is that they would require a little bit more time to come out with the details as far as those who've contributed or bought the electoral bonds. They say that this is a lengthy procedure. There could be a large number of people who are involved, and therefore we want to be very careful with the facts. All this argument, of course, as expected, Anjali, has been outrightly rejected by the opposition, saying this is a time of computerization when we are tech savvy, and the SBI also has projected itself as a modern bank with modern banking operations, and therefore to say that they don't have details or they're going to take time to figure out the details is just yet another cover-up attempt, because the time it's asked for is when the elections will be over, by which time one will not even know who are the real ones who contributed and bought those electoral bonds.
Pallavi, so we have these attacks coming in from the opposition parties who are saying that all the information should be revealed right before the election. How do you think this is going to have an impact on the elections?
See, already, I don't know whether it's going to be an issue per se, Anjali, which is going to work as far as elections are concerned. But this is yet going to be seen as a cover-up operation by the opposition parties, who, in any case, have always accused the BJP of misusing all the electoral mechanisms, whether it's the election commission and even the electoral bonds. The entire idea, when it was first brought forward by the late finance minister and the former finance minister, Mr. Arun Jaitley, at that point of time, also the opposition parties had said that, there is no transparency as to how much of donations or electoral bonds the BJP has bought. They clearly have the largest amount of contributions, and therefore the opposition political parties will be affected by it, and there's going to be a witch hunt against them. And even when the Supreme Court came out with that landmark decision, there was wild euphoria in the opposition ranks, Anjali, but they also said that, the damage has already been done to us. The money has already been accrued by the BJP, and they have a large amount of funds at their disposal, and they never are open about where their money comes in from and who are their people who donate to them.
All right, Pallavi, please stay with us. CNN News 18, Aman Sharma is also joining us on this story. Aman, so the SBI has sought extension in the deadline till June 30th. What can be expected next?
Well, we'll have to wait and see, Anjali, what the Supreme Court says on this. Obviously, the SBI has come just before the deadline date, which was given to it by the Supreme Court to furnish the details which can be later published on all the details of the donors and who has donated to whom. The SBI has just come a day before that to the Supreme Court saying that they need an extension because the work is too big, and they have asked for extension till June 30th. So we'll have to wait and see what the Supreme Court's view on it is. But obviously, this is getting flack from the opposition parties because they say the date which has been proposed by the SBI now, June 30th, comes after the elections. So is the SBI trying to, avoid this controversy that if all these details come out in the open, they may be embarrassing to certain parties, but the BJP has been asking that it will also be interesting to see who's, contributed to the Congress and to the opposition parties. So it could be problematic for everybody. Maybe the opposition is saying, is this the reason why the SBI is now asking for extension? We'll have to wait, Anjali, and see what the Supreme Court says. Does it grant this kind of a relief to SBI? Or will it put its foot down and say that no, you have to adhere to the deadline which has been given by the court almost 20 days back?
All right, Aman, thank you so much for all those.